Our Gurukul, a school for children ages 5 to 25, was founded by the International Society for Krishna Consciousness in 1971. Why should we wish that every child could attend Gurukul? Because Gurukul is the only school teaching how to live according to the Vedic scriptures, how one can know oneself to be eternal, blissful and full of knowledge. One criticism sometimes given is that Gurukul indoctrinates children who are too young to resist its spiritual philosophy. In answer, we may note that any method of raising children is a kind of indoctrination, such as placing your child in an ordinary school, or even letting him do and think whatever he likes. Whatever parents or instructors teach by their example, a child will take very seriously. In the impressionable, formative years, therefore, the Krishna Consciousness movement is training children in the perfection of religion. This training is hardly reprehensible. Indeed, it's what the world needs. So, what goes on at Gurukul? First of all, as in no other school, there is the chanting of the holy names of Krishna, dancing in ecstasy, and the eating of prasad, food offered to Krishna. Most importantly, children are taught about their eternal position as the servant of the Supreme Lord. In all these activities, they have the company of many wonderful friends their own age, who are all devotees of the Supreme Lord. Bhagavad Gita tells us that if one seriously pursued spiritual consciousness in his past life, but did not perfect his progress, in the next life he may take birth in a family of devotees or advanced transcendentalists. Therefore, the children at Gurukul are not ordinary, or they wouldn't have been born as the sons and daughters of devotees who want their children to be brought up in Krishna consciousness. They are extremely fortunate because their parents want them to be liberated from further suffering and to become eligible to enter the kingdom of God. Of course, Gurukul is open to all children, regardless of race, creed or financial position. The great sage Jiva Goswami said, "If a child is properly trained, he can become a great devotee of the Lord." Therefore, any child who goes to Gurukul has the best of friends, playmates who are always chanting about and glorifying Krishna and eating Krishna prasad. The academic curriculum at Gurukul includes English, math, history and geography. But the children also memorize Vedic mantras, as well as learn to read Sanskrit, so that they can understand the Vaishnava literature in its original language. Also, Gurukul stresses practical instruction in personal cleanliness, both physical and spiritual. The teachers who all live with the students at Gurukul follow 4 rules: no illicit sex, no meat eating, no intoxication, and no gambling. Thus they are real teachers. And unlike the teachers found in the schools nowadays, they have extreme dedication to Krishna consciousness. And in this way they can offer real love and guidance to the children by helping them revive their dormant love for God. Someone may say that Gurukul is a very specialized school. But when the Vedic civilization was current, thousands of years ago, the spiritual values taught at Gurukul were inherent in every educated person. So a Gurukul education is not a sectarian creed or an artificial imposition on the mind. It is nothing less than Bhakti Yoga, the revival of the individual's loving relationship with God, which has now been all but totally forgotten by the world's great civilizations. Where I went to school, and maybe where you went to school, or where your child goes to school now, the other kids were simply concerned with enjoying material life and didn't much care about spiritual realization. Human life is actually meant for realizing oneself as a spiritual soul and realizing one's eternal relationship with God as His servant. Unless one learns who he is in relation to the absolute truth, whatever he does is simply a waste of time. The science of God, learned in a non-sectarian way, as taught by Krishna conscious teachers, books and life practices, takes years to mature. Those of us who have come to Krishna consciousness at a late stage, too late to become proficient in Sanskrit and with so many bad habits, are still fortunate because Krishna consciousness acts so quickly. Anyone can see this, for the Krishna conscious devotees who are now older members of the Krishna consciousness movement have indeed broken away from all the contaminating activities of materialism. Krishna consciousness is so pure that a devotee soon becomes very hopeful of complete success, no matter what his past history. But we wish we had begun earlier, and naturally, we wish others to have the chance. We should be glad that in Mayapur such a pure spiritual force is present to counteract the failures of materialism. Gurukula should be encouraged, and indeed every parent should consider, why don't we send our child there? One who is beyond sectarianism and who sees the ultimate good for his child as spiritual happiness will be hard-pressed to find a better school